Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Beach Day by Cakepie Games.
Beach Day is a card game that is coming to crowdfunding here in the very near future, so make sure to check out the link down below in the description of this video after you watch it to get all the details on this one. Now, as you might think, Beach Day is about a day at the beach. And you are going to be playing cards, building out your beach and the different sand castles, seashells, beach balls, trying to limit how many trash piles are on your beach because that's going to take away points. And you're strategically placing all of these elements on your beach, trying to get the most points, fulfilling your secret agenda, and ultimately to be the player who has the most points once their deck of cards runs out. Let me show you how this one works down below, and then we'll come back and share thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer. All right, here's Beach Day. Now, I do want to make sure you understand what you see in this video is prototype. So the final artwork components, maybe even some of the rules might change once it's released from crowdfunding. That being said, what you have with this game, well, this is a card game, and the cards are going to be square, as you can see like this. Now, you're going to have some cards that have an umbrella on the back, and these are going to be the primary cards that you'll be playing with. You have these scoring cards that are going to have a letter in the bottom corner telling you that this is the side to play with in the first game, because you're going to be playing on the A side, and then there's going to be a B side, and then there are going to be extra cards that you'll be using that have a C and D side to them. And then you will have starting cards that have a turtle on them, and you will have personal goal cards that have crabs on the back. Now, how this game is going to work, everyone will have their own starting card with the turtle on it, and they're all different random cards. And so you'll just get one at random, and that'll be your starting card. And then you'll have the main deck of cards, and you'll shuffle this up, and you'll remove so many of these depending upon the number of players in the game, because when this deck runs out, that will be the indicator for the end of the game. And so you only need a set number of these. You don't play with all of them, but you'll put them all in a single deck. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and move these scorecards off to the side of the camera, the playing area here, so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. But after you have your deck of cards, you will flip 2 cards over to formulate 2 discard piles. And then the game is ready to play. Starting with the first player, you will make a choice on your turn. You will either take one of the top cards on either of the 2 discard piles, or you will take 2 cards off the top of the draw deck. So, and the reason for that is because I can see what is on top of these cards. I know what I'm getting. When you draw blindly off the top of the deck, you get to draw 2 cards in case one of them isn't very good. Hopefully the other will work better for you. Now, when you take a card, you will place that card in your beach area, which is going to be right in front of you. And you could cover up part of a card that is already in your beach area. You cannot, however, cover up the turtle. You have to leave the turtle visible throughout the course of the game, but you can pretty much cover up anything else. Or you could place adjacent to a card that is already in your beach area. However, you cannot place on the corners. It has to be touching edge to edge or overlapping a portion of the card. Now, you cannot tuck underneath a card that is already on the table. You always have to place on top like so. So I could do this, I could do that. It would depend upon those scoring goals. So let's take a look at each of the scoring goals. You've got turtles and sand here, and in this particular case, you're going to get 2 points per sand space in a straight line from the turtle going up, left, right, and down. So in this case, as you can see, here's my turtle. We've got 1 sand space, 2 sand spaces. Oh, there's a shell. So I get 1, 2 sand spaces, and again, they're 2 points apiece, so that would be 4 points. And then you would go in this direction. I've got another right there, but so far I don't have any on these 2 sides. So that's how the turtles and sand would work. Then we've got the largest connected group of each shell type. There are different shells in the game, as you can see, and you would get 1 point for each shell type in the largest connected group of each of those. And as you can see, I've already got 2 of those. I would do myself well by getting a third one right here to connect this and make this one big group. Then you will get points here for surrounding sand castles. As you can see, here is a sand castle right here on this discard pile. And if I can surround sand castles with the C spaces, so let me see if I can get you a C. That's what the C's look like there. There's a bigger picture of what the C's look like. Then I'm going to get more points. And if I can completely surround the sandcastle, then I'm getting a lot of points. So that's the sandcastles one. And then we got one here for sand dollars and trash. Sand dollars are going to give you points. Trash are going to take away points. Very straightforward and easy with that one. And then the last one is completed beach balls. As you can see, here's half of a beach ball. If I can complete that beach ball by the end of the game, well, that's going to give me some points. In this case, it would give me 3. And so those are the scoring cards that you will start off with. And as I've already shown you, there are other ones that you could play with. But that's the idea of the game here. So again, to summarize, I'm either taking the top of one of the 2 discard piles, or I'm drawing 2 blindly off the top of the deck and deciding amongst those 2 which I'm going to play. And with the one that I don't want, I'm going to discard it on top of one of the 2 decks, and then that would be the end of my turn, and it would go on to the next player. And this would continue until this deck runs out, at which point that is going to signify the end of the game, and you'll score up all the points for what you have here for these communal goals. But I have not mentioned to you about the crabs. Now, at the beginning of the game, you are going to get some crabs dealt to you, and these are going to be personal goals that you'll be working towards, and a lot of them have to do with having the most of something on your beach at the end of the game, and if you do have the most of whatever that is, then you will gain points. So you have to make a decision early on in this to decide which one you're going to keep and which one you're going to discard, and then you're going to work towards that and hopefully achieve that by the end of the game so that you get the extra points. Whoever has the most points at the end of all of this is going to be the winner. Now, real quick, there is also a solo mode for this, and it works a little bit differently. You are only going to play with 42 of these cards here, and we'll just pretend like this is 42 cards. You will not have a discard area. You will only have the deck face down. You'll have your random turtle starting card. You will not play with any of the crabs. And what this will do in this game, you also won't have any of these scoring objectives. You will be playing against a scenario that is outlined to you. Now, again, this is prototype, so my rulebook here is prototype, but I want to show you one of these scenarios that they gave me. And as you can see here, scenario 1, there are 5 different objectives that you have to try to complete. Have at least 20 shells of any type. Have at least 3 or more sand dollars. Then you do trash on your beach. Score at least 10 stars from the A Turtle and Sand scorecard. That's the same one that I showed you earlier. Have at least 3 completed beach balls and have at least a 5x5 area filled in on your beach, each card being a 2x2 area, and filled in basically meaning that it has something on it. There can't be any blank sand spaces. So how the solo mode is going to work, you will take 2 cards at a time. You'll decide which one that you want to keep. You'll discard the other out of the game, and you'll play that card into your beach area just like you would in the regular game. And you can rotate these cards too, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. And so maybe I do something like that, and then I would take my next turn. And I would continue doing this, and obviously, having 42 cards, that means I'm going to be playing 21 cards, half of them, into my beach area. And after I have played all of the cards, then I would go back to the scenario and see if I have completed all of the objectives, and if that is the case, then I win, and that's how you play the solo mode. That is how you play Beach Day. Now let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one. All right, we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Beach Day from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So, Sam, this is just a simple, small little card game, and it's, pretty much the name and the box, the look of the game pretty much tells you everything about what it is, that you are going to be drafting cards from a market, a small little market, either from the discard piles or getting to draw 2 cards from the deck, and playing one of those cards to your area, trying to extend it out to be something that you want. And you're overlapping these cards. We've seen that in other kind of games. What'd you think about how it worked in Beach Day?
Yeah, I mean, it's very simple understanding the game. It was quick to play, and I think it was fun. It was unique as far as like the shells and things like that, and the turtle trying to keep, how much sand space can you keep around the turtle. So it's a little bit of a point salad, lots of ways to gain points.
Right.
So, but it's definitely easy to learn.
Yeah. And you can change up the way the different things score. Sam mentioned that you get points if the turtle has a straight path without running into anything. That's one of the ways you can score the turtle. As you saw in the rules portion of the video, there are other ways that the turtle can score and other ways that everything in the game can score. So there is replayability when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You can shake that up however you want. And then you've got that own secret personal goal that you're trying to use, getting points through that means. So there's a lot of different things, a lot of different ways that score you points.
But I think we still ended up 1 point.
We were so close, yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what we do in a lot of games, we're always 1 point away from each other, if not tying a lot of times. So yeah, no, what was interesting about that is we had totally different strategies.
I really thought it would be quite a bit different. But I think
wide.
That shows that's typically a sign of a good game.
Yeah, it's very well balanced.
It's not, even though you're doing your own things, it's still, you're coming out pretty close to each other.
Right, yeah, and it's really like 1 or 2 small decisions that, make it or break it for you. And I felt like for this one, I really enjoyed the drafting mechanic with this one of either taking one of the things that you know on the discard piles or 2 of the unknown and having to keep one of those. Because for me, a lot of times what I found was you're discarding the things you don't want, which oftentimes are probably things I won't want either.
Yeah.
And so I'm bound to want to go for the 2 unknown, but what if I get stuck with something that's just as bad as some of the things on the discard pile? So like you're having to make some tough choices along those lines. And a lot of times it's like choosing the least worst of 2 bad options is kind of what it's like. And I enjoy that aspect because eventually you're going to have to take on some trash piles.
Yeah.
And you just got to find ways to deal with that. I like the overlapping cards. I feel like that mechanic works really well with this. And I like the way that it looks. This is a pretty game, albeit a small, compact kind of thing. I just like the way that it looks. Gives you that nice beach vibe theme to it. So one that you would recommend playing with non-gamers?
I think that's great. I think it'll probably go in our travel box.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. So the game is Beach Day. It is from Cakepie Games. And again, it is coming to crowdfunding here in the very near future. So make sure to check out that link down below in the description of this video. And while you're down there, leave us some comments on Beach Day.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Layup.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.